Hey, so I just went to see Devil Wears Prada 2, and you don't have to. Like, literally. So, yeah, this is gonna be a Devil Wears Prada 2 review from a fan, I guess you can say. Okay, so let's talk about the lighting. The lighting in this movie is horrible, which I was surprised because this was a Disney production. It's a high budget movie, that's what I'm trying to say. It's a high budget movie. The lighting was horrible. It was that what people call Netflix lighting. It feels like the movie was allergic to colors. There were no colors, color grading, color correction. What? It it it, it was like a one step away from a black and white movie, and I feel like black and white movies do have more souls than this, but okay, so my second problem was, and I have to dedicate a whole chapter to this, it was the Stella bottle. I think hopefully a lot of us noticed. So the actress, she was drinking a Stella beer. So then you would see like her bottle, she's sitting on the table, she has a Stella bottle right here. And then, she's talking and then cut, her Stella bottle will be flipped. So then she would talk and then the cut again and then the Stella bottle would be here, and it's like, how do you make these types of mistakes? These are, like, in my opinion, serious mistakes that are made by not even film students. It feels like the producer was on a PTO when this scene was shot, because, like, I don't know, this really is a huge mistake. Most people are probably not gonna see, but like, it really bothered me. Okay, so let's talk about fashion. So this was a movie about fashion, correct? Correct. Well, the first one at least. So in the first movie, there was a heavy accent on outfits, and all of the outfits were good. Like, even till this day, if you like go out in one of those Andy outfits, you would still get looks, you would still be considered, chic. But in this movie, I don't know if that's the case. So I've noticed that they did not call Patricia Fields the, legend in costume design. She was the one who did Sex and the City. She was the one who did the first movie, Devil Wears Prada. Like, she's kind of like the fashion girl of Hollywood, and she's very good at her job. And I'm surprised they didn't get her for the second movie, and it shows. Because here's the thing: for the first movie, no label wanted to work with this movie because it's a direct attack on the editor-in-chief of Vogue, Anna Wintour, and all the labels were scared to give clothes. But Patricia, because she's such a big person in this industry, she convinced a lot of designers to donate, like, for them to donate the outfits. So I guess in the second movie, which is kind of like, in my opinion, rehabilitated Anna, I know that in the second movie, everyone would probably work with this movie. So no matter what designer you are, big designers, small designers, you would probably want to work and dress a character in this movie. And okay, I want to say, like, what kind of fashion moments we have in this movie. So we have Miranda's outfit. She came to Milan dressed like in a what looked to be a Turkish pajamas, and then there was a scene where she was looking like Jester the Clown. So apparently, out of all the designers, the costume director chose to go to Party City. I mean, who did this? I don't even want to research the costume designer for this movie, because Jesus, I mean, I'm just gonna throw away pictures here on the screen. So let's talk about Andy moments. So Andy had this like breathtaking moment in a blue dress, quote unquote. The look was good. Okay, the look was okay. Like, they really made her like, oh my god, this is like the best look ever. And it's just like Andy in a pretty dress. Also, another huge moment was when they were putting on accent for this like loud quote unquote dress. That's what Nigel called it, a loud dress. And when she did the reveal, it wasn't really anything spectacular. It was kind of like, I don't know, from like the 70s, like ABBA style of dress, which by the way is seen. I have seen dresses like that, for years now. It's not anything new. It's not anything like she didn't even look like, oh my god, she looks shockingly beautiful or fashionable. She just looked like someone who wore a dress from the 70s. Also, like, speaking of that dress, they made such a point, like, do not get it dirty, do not get it dirty, you have to return that dress to the closet. Well, there was a moment where, like, she dropped food on the dress, but nothing like that wasn't addressed. I assume they cut that scene out, but what was the point? Like, why would you show a gun at a night fight if you're not going to use it? So in my opinion, that was weird. That scene was unnecessary completely. Nigel's outfits, it was okay, nothing like spectacular. I mean, I feel like they didn't really try with Nigel. So in conclusion, this was a fashion movie without fashion. So the plot of the movie was very dry. Like, there wasn't a journey that happened in this movie. Like, when you watch this movie, it's like nothing's gonna like we're kind of going somewhere, but like we're not really going anywhere. We're kind of changing locations, but nothing is really changing. Also, there was no struggle. So for example, in the first movie, Andy, she remember when she had that task, like, oh, get me the unpublished Harry Potter book, copy it in like in pairs, get it stitched together, get it designed, the covers, ship it to the twins before they went to grandma's, like all these impossible tasks. And that was kind of fun to see, and the strings that she pulled to kind of get that task completed. But in this movie, there was no journey. Every time our main character had a problem, she would call her friend and get it done. Basically, Lucy Lou, I have a problem. Hey Lucy, can you like use your unlimited amount of money and like buy me whatever you need? It felt really lazy. Not to mention, not really creative, or like I said, we're not really going anywhere with this like movie. Also, speaking of Lucy Lou, there was a moment where Andy was like desperately trying to get in contact with her, and of course, coincidentally, her best friend had a friend who sold the painting to Lucy, but so now she like gave her the number, and Lucy picked up, and not only did she pick up, she was like, oh, I don't really do interviews, I haven't done an interview in 3 years, but just for you, I'm gonna do the interview. I mean, where's the struggle? Like, where's the begging and like trying to appeal to Lucy to like get this interview? It's just like Lucy was like, hello? Oh, you want this interview? Yeah, I don't really usually give a lot of interviews, but for you, I'll do it. That was the scene. Cut. And I don't blame Lucy Lou, I blame the script. So let's talk about the cast. The cast was stacked. I like the cast because they had influencers as well as singers. We had award-winning actors like Meryl Streep. We have Stanley Tucci. We got, what's Andy's name again? Anne Hathaway. So yeah, Emily Blunt. Jesus, how could I forget? Like the main character in my eyes. So they did good. Even the influencers and the singers did a good job. But it's just like the problem is when your script is bad, when your director is bad, when like everything is bad, no amount of Meryl Streeps on the set can fix such a horrible job, in my opinion. Anyways, I've noticed that, like I said, the editing was messy, and I think they had to like really edit this movie fast, because during the Mayhem Ball, I remember that Gaga was like scheduled to perform in one country. She had to fly to Italy to do this movie, fly back to that country to perform that, at that night or next night. So, in conclusion, also like that happened like recently. I remember, hearing this about like Gaga and stuff like that. So, I don't know how long the editing of this movie lasted, but maybe that's why we had the Stella bottle incident. Maybe that's why the movie was so sloppy. So I want to talk about the references of the first movie. This is something that I liked. So the movie is a meme at this point. There are a lot of references, memes, and the thing about this movie is every reference that was ever referenced was referenced in this movie. So that's something that I really appreciate as a fan of the first movie. I love that we actually like can make fun of ourselves, I guess, in a way, down to the blue sweater at the end of the movie, which was cut like was it the cerulean? Not really cerulean, the blue sweater. I really, really enjoyed that like moment of like references. I don't know. I just sometimes like cheap comedy. So my next thing is Lady Gaga. So my problem with this is not Lady Gaga's acting, but like it felt unnecessary and it didn't feel real, in the sense that Gaga was playing Lady Gaga in a movie, Devil Wears Prada. Like she wasn't being Gaga, she was being Gaga in a movie, Devil Wears Prada. So her whole arc was she was being blackmailed by Miranda to like perform at this fashion show, and like she would continue to work with Vogue or Runway, I should say. But that's not really realistic at all, because first of all, Gaga is a very fashion-oriented singer. Second of all, she's really good with Anna Wintour. They text together. They're good friends. Like I cannot see like where Anna would like blackmail Gaga. Also, if you're gonna like do this, Gaga is not the person to go. Gaga is not really someone you can blackmail. She really doesn't give a crap. We can see that in her art pop era. So this really felt forced. Gaga being the victim here. Gaga is never the victim. Like Gaga does just not care. Gaga does whatever she does. I think if you wanted to play this like moment, you should have chosen Kim Kardashian, because Gaga's talented. Like she'll get clout, but Kim isn't. So Kim needs Vogue. Kim needs something to latch on to give her clout. So that's why, if you wanted to go this route, I don't think choosing a talented person who is good with Anna Wintour was the right move. But I see why they chose her, because like first of all, you can tell that Gaga is a big fan of the movie. Second of all, I mean, we know she likes fashion. Third of all, she already gives like a soundtrack to the movie. She has 3 songs for the movie, so they were like, might as well get her in the movie. But still, that's a director's choice, not mine. I don't think that was the best move. So soundtrack, the soundtrack of this movie, shockingly, and don't kill me, is not that good in my opinion. So the first movie soundtrack is really good. You can still listen to it today. It's still iconic, and it kind of blends with the movie like soup. You have like potatoes, carrots, chicken, broth, like whatever. It's like a melody. It's kind of art. Yeah, it is art. But in the second movie, it seems like a Korean plate. Like, potatoes here, carrots here, everything is segregated, nothing is mixed, nothing is well blended, everything is like at a distance. Okay, I like Gaga songs, don't get me wrong, obviously. I mean, I was at that Mayhem tour, but my problem was in like certain scenes, they chose songs that maybe either was tacky or it didn't harmonize with the scene. You have to like woven these things together, like a film and a song. I know I'm not the person to speak about this, because my background songs are always shit, but still, you have like unlimited budget. My budget is 50 cents, and YouTube, a copyright free library. You have Madonna, Vogue, and you're chosen to put this song when Miranda was boarding economy or is like economy class. Like in America, what's like the poor people class? Yeah, that was when they played Madonna's Vogue. I'm sorry, I don't think that was the moment to play a glamorous fashion song when she was like, and no, you cannot tell me no, it did not blend together. It was like eating raw food, just not cooked enough. And let's talk about the characters. So one of my problems was, well, I have many, but Miranda's character, she became too human in this movie, and I know that's something that a lot of people like from characters, to be more human and have depth, but I don't like that about Miranda. The reason why we love Miranda is because she's stone cold. She's an ice queen. We don't want her to, to be more human and vulnerable and submissive. I don't know, like maybe not vulnerable the way they made her, I guess. Because like there was a scene where she was like putting coats by herself, and as we know in the first movie, it is iconic for her to like slam the coat on the table. People say, oh, it was an HR violation and someone was complaining. Okay, you're telling me that HR can stop Anna Wintour? Really? Like, you're really telling Anna Wintour can literally sexually assault a coworker and no one can like bat an eye? That's how powerful this woman is. You're telling me like a little coat on the table is like something that's gonna create an HR problem? No, not really. Andy. So the problem with Andy's character is she is no longer human or relatable, which was like our protagonist. She was an underdog in the first movie. Now she kind of feels powerful, but powerful in a way that there's no, like I said, anytime there's a struggle, she would solve it instantly. There's no journey. That's what's missing from the movie. And Lucy Liu is just her cheat code. Like, whatever problem, Lucy, hey, hello. So Emily, where do I start? Like, this is a character assassination. So Emily now works in the retail department, still a luxury store, but still, Emily would not be caught dead working in retail. I don't care what they try to justify. Oh, retail is the only lucrative branch of the fashion industry. Emily does not do retail. Also Emily like having a sugar daddy. What? Like this, like I really did not like the way they rewrote. Like, they rewrote Amanda human. They rewrote Andy as like, now she's no longer the underdog. They rewrote Emily into a slut. I don't like what they're doing with the characters. It felt like watching an entirely different movie, actually. So, in my opinion, Nigel was maybe the biggest character assassination. So Nigel seemed powerful in the first movie. Remember when Miranda like backstabbed him? He did not want to let that go. He was like, I'll get her, like I'll get my revenge. You can almost say that Nigel was almost there with Miranda. Now we have a second movie where he is like shy, submissive. He's a bootlicker to Miranda, and it's like, okay, sorry about that. My ring light died because it's connected to my work laptop, and my work laptop died because there's no battery. Yes, I'm doing this on company time. I don't give a rat's ass. Fuck capitalism. They ain't paying me enough. So, how much you pay me, that's how much effort you're gonna get. So, excuse me for not wanting to make like a billionaire buy a Ford yacht. Anyway, back to Nigel. Like I said, the biggest character assassination was Nigel. Giving Nigel at the end of the movie like his bigger role in the magazine is just like, and then he's like, oh no, I'm so shy, I can't do it. It's like, you're so shy you can't do it, but like 20 years ago you wanted to run, what is it, like some sort of big department, fashion, something. Oh, so now we're shy, but like 20 years ago we were fierce, huh? So that was kind of, so let's talk about the romance moment. I did not like this at all. So of course, because poor Andy, she never got married in 20 years. Um, I have to go to work. I hate my life. So back to the romance. So poor Andy, boo-hoo, she did not marry in 20 years. Emily had like a failed marriage, a sugar daddy, and two kids. I think this was a great move if Hollywood was like woke enough to make Andy alone. You know, why does every movie have to have like a prince on a white horse? Can our character just be satisfied with living alone? Or like have like a polyamorous relationship? Okay, sure, that would be too much. We're not woke enough. But like, why is there a need if the story was woven great or the story ended? Why do we need a random Australian sexy daddy to like be her man? Of course, he's of course rich, but it felt forced. He did not bring any substance to the movie. If you cut him from the movie, you would just get more 20 more minutes of like maybe they would use that movie to like develop the plot, but like no, they decided to give that to like some random character with like no substance. I remember one YouTuber was doing a review on this movie, and I watched the video, and he was like, at least the guy from the first movie was annoying. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. At least the dude in the first movie was annoying and you can hate him. This one is just like, he's there. So yeah, I need Hollywood to be more woke and to like create a story where there is a successful woman and she's happy to live alone. She doesn't have to like be like Miranda, kill herself over her job or like be a workaholic, but like just to be happy, being alone, doing her thing privately, like living her life basically, and also have a chill work environment. I think that was a better move, than to be like, oh, here's a random man on a horse who's rich. Speaking of capitalism, let's talk about the socialist elements in the movie. So I've noticed in the first 15 minutes, Andy was doing like the most. She was like, AI is taking our jobs. She got fired. There was this like moment of like, people are losing jobs. People need jobs. We need affordable housing. And I'm like, whoa, this is like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love this, but it felt forced, first of all. Second of all, it was shocking to see this in an American movie, because American movies are heavily censored when it comes to serious topics. And the fact that they were just like talking about affordable housing and people needing jobs, it's like, whoa, this is like, but like I said, it felt a little performative. I don't think this is the movie where we should like look for some socialist elements, because fashion itself is very capitalist. It's very consumerist culture-ish, luxury, snobism. It's kind of like you're spending money. You have to spend money to keep up, to be the most the trendsetter, the on top of all expensive trends, and yada yada yada. And I don't really see the correlation between socialism with that theme. Honestly, if you're gonna do a capitalist movie, at least be capitalist all the way. This felt like, because this movie, I think, was targeted maybe towards young people a little bit, since we got influencers, we got other elements I don't feel safe to share. But yeah, this movie felt like, hey, younger folks, you can watch this movie as well. Because I think the production people think that because we live in bad times, when people live in bad times, they either go to extremes, they either go to fascism or socialism. So they chose socialism, I think, just to be quirky. I don't think they actually like try to do anything. Although in defense, I guess I'll say this, I appreciate that there was a moment in the movie where people were making fun of Miranda, and there was like a picture that seemed like an AI picture mocking Miranda. However, fun fact, that picture was done by a actual artist. It wasn't done by AI. So you have people creating AI art. That was kind of okay. That was kind of like, I'll give it to them. That was kind of good. So that was okay. So anyway, that's my like 2 cents on the movie. Should you watch it? I mean, if you're a fan, I think you should watch it maybe once, but like wait for Disney Plus, you know? You don't need to go to the cinema to spend money on this. Wait like 3 months, it'll be out in on Disney. You're probably gonna watch it one time and never again. So while comparing to the first movie, if you play this movie right now, the first movie, I can still watch it. Like it's still kind of fun. It's funny, it's fun, it's very well written. Anyway, that's it. That was the whole review, I guess. Sorry it was so raw, plain, but that's how the movie was. And I give this movie maybe a 2 out of 5 stars. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this bland review, and I wish you a nice day.